What's up, adventure agents? Agent Tex here. So we just had an awesome time making a video with Isaac here, and Isaac is a native Hawaiian, or he's of native Hawaiian ancestry, and he grew up on these islands, on the island of Maui, and he just took us out on an awesome fishing trip adventure, and we caught a few delicious fish. And he is also a chef, and he showed us how to clean and prepare and cook those fish in a way that just blew my mind. It was so fantastic. So I'll put a link in the description below to that channel. But I wanted to have a little bit of a conversation with Isaac about what he thinks, what you think about the idea, the potential for sustainability in the world, for humans to live in a sustainable way to where future generations, 1,000 years from now, might be able to enjoy a planet that isn't completely destroyed, and love each other in the process of doing that, and doing that as a part of loving each other. And so I know we just talked about this on the other channel, that there's a term that your ancestors used. I have a hard time saying this sometimes. Like, I'll say your people, but like I see humanity as a whole. So I feel like when you start labeling and start saying like your people and my people, then it creates this sort of like cleavage that I don't know. So I have a hard time, but it's difficult. I don't know how else. Your culture, maybe.
We just come from different upbringings.
Right, there you go.
So
yeah,
my
yeah.
upbringing
So we're all
is
human.
different from
right.
yours.
So aloha, how would you, aloha?
Right, so Aloha Aina refers to love is aloha.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And Aina is land. So if you care and respect the land, then you have Aloha Aina. And then in a nutshell, that's what it is.
We've been talking about that in our other channel. We've been talking about that with Kahu, the Keeper of Knowledge, with Wilman. And he and I have had some really great conversations about the similarities between cultures, right? And so the tradition that I come from is the Judeo-Christian tradition. And that's not actually my ancestry. My ancestry is more like Irish, Nordic, I guess, and like German maybe. But the Judeo-Christian tradition is the tradition that I was raised in, and love is something that is key in that tradition. The word love, and in that they also say God is love in that tradition. And so there's this connection there with aloha. So aloha, also what Kahu taught us is that it is alo, which is, I'm sorry, oh no, I'm forgetting which order it's in now. Ha is breath of life.
Correct.
Alo is face to face. Okay, so I mix them up sometimes. So alo is face to face. Ha is breath of life.
It's easy to remember because when you say ha, what do you have to do?
That's true.
Exhale.
Boom. Okay,
right?
yeah, that's
your
it.
breath.
Yeah, right. There you go. Okay, that's how I remember it. Ha. Right. Okay.
Pretty easy.
Yeah, and so I find that so interesting, is that, there's this concept in the Judeo-Christian tradition where somebody said that Yeshua said, where two or more are gathered, there I am in the midst of them. So if this God, right, this concept, this being that we hear about through scriptures or other cultures or religions is anywhere, right, then they are right where two people are gathered in the name of love, right? And so aloha, face to face, breath of life together, and that's what I find so terrible about this whole pandemic situation, is that we cover our faces, we stay away from each other because it's the breath of death, right? And there's a reality to that, right? Because you can spread something if you pass it, but it's just sad, I find, that we're all separated now, and I don't know. Anyway, so I guess I just wanted to ask you about how you felt about the future of humanity and this planet. Do you see hope there?
Well, I think that's a very deep-rooted question.
Yeah, can you answer it in 2 minutes?
For sure, yeah. When you speak of sustainability, and think of longevity with humanity or what have you, like the Hawaiian people have gone through a lot of change in a short amount of time, and it's not only diseases and pandemics that we've endured over the years, but also change in incoming cultures and people. So for me, sustainability is living in minimalistic excess, you know, things, living with things that you need versus you want.
Right. Okay.
And I do think that living sustainably is surrounding yourself with people and things and food that nourish your body, mind, and you know, and who you are. Right. And going back to Aloha, Alo is your well-being and who you are and how you carry yourself, right?
Yeah.
And so I think if you surround yourself with good people, good food, positive energy, and whatever religion you believe in, I think that your alo, or the way, and your well-being will be positive and sustainable. And I think in a lot of ways, when humanity and social pressures expect excess, or they, you know, bigger is better, so to speak.
Right.
I think when we dial it back, you know, we didn't catch the biggest fish today, or we didn't, but we had a darn good time.
We did,
right?
We did. And when I'm hearing you say this, I think in pictures, and so I'm seeing what you're describing, and I'm seeing the reverberation of that, like almost like creating peace in the planet, you know, like just like loving each other, community, and thinking along the lines of not how can I have so much, just scale it, right, in a way that, you know, makes it to where you dominate, but in a way that just works for everyone around you, not just you, not just, you know, and I'm just seeing that as you're talking about that, I'm seeing that happen.
Sustainability is simplification in a lot of ways.
Right. Yes. I love that. I love it. And I was just talking to him earlier about one thing that I believe, and that I've come to believe more and more the more I experience it, is that having a direct connection to the food that you eat and where it's sourced, going and getting it yourself, like killing that animal yourself even, gives you a respect for the land, a respect for that creature, for the earth really, that you just can't get any other way. And I feel like that has helped me more than anything to realize that, oh my goodness, like I need this connection, this direct hands-on connection. And so I don't know that we can have a sustainable future without training younger generations now and ourselves, you know, in those ways, in those practical ways that our ancestors, you know, practice, you know. And so I don't know that we can, because I don't know that we can actually have the care for the planet that we need in order to accomplish that, and to care for each other even, because man, food is health, is life, and the food I eat is the energy I need to love people the way I want to. And if I eat terrible food, if I just, you know, eat sand, joke, but you know, if I eat terrible food, I'm not going to have that energy to love the planet, to love you, to love the people around me. And so anyways, so that's my kind of take on it, and I really appreciate you and your take on it, and thank you so much for taking us through this adventure here. We really appreciate that. So thank you so much, man. Love you.
Look, you can make flour out of that. You dried it out, it's breadfruit.
yeah.
You can make like...
They do make breadfruit flour, that's
really
delicious, yeah.
That's like a...
They also make flour out of these kiabi beans.
You know?
Is it kind of like cassava, the breadfruit flour?
It's cassava's a little more starchy, this has more sugar.
This has more sugar? It has sugar?
If you roll that a little bit of honey, that might be good.
Yeah, you could put this in honey and butter and then just bake it in the oven.
You can make brownies out of that.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Just this?
Well, you would have to add some
of
things, right?
chocolate.
It would be breadfruit white brownies, not dark chocolate brownies. Good job today, Axel.